We're getting our first view of what this ride is really all about. Jimmy's about to have an explosion.
Are they friendly?
We're about to find out.
Hello? No.
Good morning and welcome to, well, what is a walk at the moment, not a ride, because we are down in the New Forest for the Garmin Ride Out and we are just heading down to registration. It's just been an interesting 2-hour journey down here. I took us on the wrong route initially and then got us into a queue on the M25, which was interesting, and the lads didn't say anything to me about it, as you can imagine. But yeah, we're just heading off to registration now, so we'll get our race numbers, get back to the bikes, and the race doesn't actually kick off until 11 o'clock this morning. It's only about 8:30, but there are quite a few festivities before it starts, so some of us need breakfast, myself included. So yeah, we'll get registered, go for breakfast, and then see what the event village is all about. Registration, breakfast and tea done. We've got our free bidon and jersey, although we're not going to be wearing the Ride Out jersey today. It is a very nice design this year, I really do like it, but we are going to go full team GACC, mainly so we can see each other in the crowd, because pretty much everyone is wearing the Garmin Ride Out jerseys, and if we get lost in the crowd, it might be difficult to spot one another. So we're going to leave the GACC jerseys on, but we're going back to the car now to get the bikes, and hopefully there'll be a bit of time to put Jimmy's new carbon fibre wheels on. Although I do have to put the rim tape on, change the cassette over, change the brake pads, and what else have I got to do? I'll put the tubes and tyres on as well. So Jimmy said he got them ready yesterday. What he meant by that was he got them out of the box. So yeah, let's get back to the car, get the bikes down, and hopefully get Jimmy's new wheels ready to go. A lovely set of 35mm deep aero elite wheels, like I've got on my road bike, although they're 50mm deep ones. These are only 35s, but still,
everything, Peter.
Mine are bigger than his. But they will still be nice and aero. So yeah, let's go and get that done now and then get back to the event village. So fresh from his ride to Dunwich, from Hackney to Dunwich on the Dunwich Dynamo 2 weeks ago, Chris has decided to bring the fixie again. He's a glutton for punishment, this fella. Right, we're on the bikes. Well, a couple of us are anyway. Jimbo has got his new wheels and we haven't had a chance to put them on, but I'm going to bring them around to the event village, and while the opening presentation information welcome bits are being done, I'm going to see if I can get the rim tape on, get the cassettes changed over, and then get the brake pads changed, and hopefully Cinderella will go to the ball and we'll have a chance to put them on. Let's see how this goes.
Cycling legend Ben Foster, cycling legends, filmmaker, YouTuber extraordinaire Chris Hall, YouTube superstar, ultimate adventurer, Katie Kookaburra from the Sunil Quickstep Devo team, Cormac Nisbet, YouTube Tour Series superstar, Rory Townsend, Aaron Berry, special last minute guest, the legend that is Johan Museo.
Right, so Jimmy's wheels put on. I didn't get much of it because it was absolutely steaming. I was sweating my cherries off, and yeah, we were all a bit warm, I think, as the fellas were trying to help me put them back on. So we got them sorted.
Slipping that rubber on, I mean, can make you quite sweaty, can't it?
I just want to point out though, let's have a listen to your hub, Jimbo.
I've never made this noise before.
What's the name you used to give to people who had a hub that made that noise?
No, we don't swear on Pete's channel.
This is a family show. But yes, the new wheels are on and we are just about to set off, so we're going to make our way to the start line now. Yeah, Chris is saying we definitely need to go because we're going to be late otherwise. So yeah, let's get started. And we're off. It was about a 40-minute wait to get under the starting arch, unfortunately, in absolutely blisteringly searing heat, but we are now on the move and in the shade, thankfully. So just 51 miles to go, 35 miles to the first stop, and even though we've ridden less than a mile, I'm already having an absolute whale of a time. Well, just over 1 mile in and we've already got a first casualty because Jimmy's back tyre feels a bit spongy. I'm not entirely sure why. Unfortunately, it was the one that I put the inner tube in, so I hope I haven't caused any problems with it. So it's a week of new stuff today because you've got Chris on his nearly new fixie, although you saw that I imagine, a few weeks ago on the Danish Dynamo ride. You got Jimmy with his new wheels and me with my brand new gravel bike. I did the full build video of this bike a couple of weeks ago now, so if bike builds are your thing, then go and check that out. But I'm out riding it today, and so far it's been absolutely beautiful. But then we are only a couple of miles in, so everything will be revealed in the fullness of time. Right, well, we're only 7 miles in and the jersey is already fully undone. It is a hot one today, 29 degrees currently, but just look at this view. Absolutely stunning view. Not keen on the crosswind though. We're going to be forming some echelons in a minute. Right, we've come to a brief pause in, I don't know where we are, Burley? Is it Burley? Burley, to get a few refreshments because it is very, very warm and I fear we are going to overheat today. And there's horses just wandering around in the street because, of course, it's the New Forest and that's what happens. Right, let's get some much needed, well, Coca-Cola on board and then we can get back on the way. Refreshments done, and we've got a bit of a climb, it appears, up there coming up, and it was a bit too warm to film anything earlier. I was sweating my cherries off once again, and it was far too hot to get the camera out, and there was too much elevation. There has been some cheeky climbs in the first 8-9 miles of this, and there's a little bit to report in that somehow my left crank came off. I clearly didn't do it up tight enough when I built it last weekend. So yeah, so that wasn't very good, but yeah, I think I've fixed it on properly now, although I am treading very gingerly on the left-hand side at the moment. Oh, we're missing out the hill. No, oh no we're not, no we're not. No, yeah, that's the Fairy Festival. I thought we were going to miss out the hill, but no, obviously not. And of course I'm in the wrong gear because I'm filming. Oh boy. But yeah, so far, one slightly spongy tyre, one fallen crank. Hopefully they're the only mechanicals we have today. The other slight problem I'm finding is that because I now have an 11 to 42 tooth cassette on the back of this bike, the jumps between the gears are very much different compared to my 11 to 32. So finding a sweet spot, yeah, has been somewhat difficult. I've been riding my road bike for probably about 2.5 years now, and you do get used to a certain cadence and a certain gear ratio. Yeah, first ride, I'm not used to this gear ratio yet. Take a bit of getting used to, but I'm not going to complain because once again, these surroundings are just absolutely stunning. Who'd have thought the New Forest would be so beautiful? I could do without the headwind though. Well, I've never had a ride interrupted by cows before. There's a first. So Jimmy, how are you feeling about the wildlife situation today?
Normally you might be upset to be slowed down on your ride. Today, cow, horse, strolls into the road. After you ladies. Take your time. We're in no rush. We're just cycling through the New Forest. You can get priority. Love it.
No muntjacs just yet though.
Deer, well, if I saw a deer...
Oh, that would be you. That would be it for you, wouldn't it?
It's the big three.
Cow, horse,
and deer.
Deer. I'm talking to horses. Here comes some more.
A live red squirrel.
Why do you say live red squirrel?
Well, I don't want to upset any viewers who love nature, but we did see a red squirrel on our Keswick ride, which was unfortunately not living.
It'd rather been caught in the crossfire on a road.
Which we were very upset about.
We were, because that was Jimmy's first ever red squirrel spotting, and yeah, unfortunately it was a dead one.
We do love nature.
I don't know, do you get red squirrels down in the New Forest? You get ticks down here, apparently. Yeah.
Oh no.
My sister-in-law went to great pains to tell me that. Lots of ticks in the New Forest. So keep a watch out for them. Don't go rummaging through those bushes, all right?
It's part of the big five.
Yeah. Cow, horse, muntjac, tick. Slight detour because the horses have somewhat blocked the road. Okay, 22 miles in, so we are 13 miles from the food stop and it is warm again. Jersey undone territory once more. And if my good friend Stuart's daughter Flo is watching this, then I apologise because She always gets a little bit embarrassed when I undo my jersey. I'll try to keep the camera up here, Flo, so you don't see anything. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would much rather this than absolutely pouring down with rain and freezing cold. Well, we're now 25 miles in, so we're about 10 miles from the food stop, but I was starting to lag a little bit, so I decided that I'd try one of the free SIS Energy Chew Bake Bar things that we got at the event village this morning. It was lovely, or at least the first half of it I chewed was, because just as I was about to get on camera and tell you about it, we went over a cattle grid and I dropped it. Ow! Lost it. But I can well recommend it. It was very, very nice. And hopefully I'll be able to get another one when we get back to the event village. Well, that was a bit of a cheeky uphill. Not entirely sure what gradient that got up to. I was too busy trying not to die. Then I was looking at my Garmin. I tried to take a bit of speed into it and got about a third of the way up with speed, then the legs had to take over. I have to say, there have been some cheeky little climbs on this so far, but like a typical cyclist sadist, we do love a good climb. We do love the pain. Why, I don't know, but we do. Right, so now we've had pigs, sheep, horses, donkeys, cows, but still no red squirrel. We're still looking for the red squirrel. Right, so food stop number 1, and we only have about 15 miles. 15 miles? Yeah. Only got about 15 miles left to go to get back to the event village. So, having an absolutely cracking time. I was feeling for the first 10 miles or so pretty ropey, but after I had the 2 bottles of Coke, or 1 bottle of Coke, I've still got 1 left. After I had that first bottle of Coke, I perked up a little bit. So I think, as ever, is my problem. I didn't fuel properly. So I've now got some sugar on board, some jelly babies, and Chris is trying to offer me some lightly salted crisps. But yeah, we'll set off in a couple of minutes, last 15 miles, back to the event village. But otherwise, still having an absolutely cracking time. You having fun, Chris?
Well, I'm loving it. Yep.
A man of many words. Man of many words is Chris with a mouthful of crisps.
Yeah, I was going to say, you wait to ask me a question as soon as I put crisp in my mouth. Thanks. I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah. Some nice hills, nice scenery, a lot of horses, cows in the road.
Pigs.
Pig. Oh, there was a pig. Yeah,
pigs and sheep.
And then a massive headwind. That was just horrible.
Yeah, if you guys have watched any of my videos, you'll know that I absolutely detest headwinds. And there's been quite a few today, so yeah, that wasn't nice. But hopefully, now we're on the... Are we heading south now? We're coming back down round
we'll
south.
Have no headwind. I won't say tailwind for fear of upsetting Stuart.
So hopefully, no, I'm going to say it, hopefully we will have a tailwind as we head back south towards Ringwood now. Fingers crossed. Right, let's go. Okay, so having just left the feed stop, it's not particularly hilly, there's a couple of undulations, but my heart rate is currently at 174. And I was thinking, what the hell is that all about? And then I looked at the temperature, 35.2 degrees. Yeah, that'll do it. We've just come up the first of 3 registered climbs in this last 15 miles. One at 5 miles, one at 8 miles, and then one at about 10 miles from the feed stop, that is. So that was the first 5-mile one. And I haven't actually got the route loaded on my Garmin, so I don't know exactly how steep that was. I'm just relying on Chris, who has got the route, to tell me where the climbs are. And I think that one was about half a mile at 5% average. It was a little bit cheeky, but not too bad. But I gather the next one is an 8% average, but only for about a third of a mile. So that one should be pretty quick. And then the last one is another 4% average for maybe half a mile. So hopefully not too bad. And once we get those 3 done, or the last 2 anyway, I'm not gonna say it, because I always say it's gonna be downhill from there, and then it never is. But we can hope. Thankfully the temperature has dropped somewhat now. It is only 29 degrees. Does my face look red in this? Because it certainly feels it. One other new thing I've just remembered that I'm wearing are my new Soak Performance bib tights that I was just sent through. Now, as ever, I do need to make it clear that Soak did send me these bib shorts for free, but they aren't paying me for any kind of review, and I will always be entirely honest with any product I receive. So far, 42 miles in, they're feeling pretty good. These are actually so new, I'm not sure they're on the website at the moment, or at least they weren't this morning when I looked. But my contact at Soak tells me that they will be going on the website very shortly, and they'll sell for $99. Now, unlike the gravel bib shorts I did a review on probably back last year, these ones, because they're performance road bib tights, don't have a pocket in the side, but they do have a slightly less thick chamois, so they're a bit more comfortable on the road. You don't need quite as much padding as you do on the gravel, and so far, as I say, they've been nice and comfortable. They've got these really nice soft, oh, if I can get it out, elastane braces, is that what you call them? Those things that go over your shoulders. So they're nice and soft against your skin. You don't need to worry about them chafing your upper body, specifically your nipples. And yeah, they sit really comfortably. So thanks, Soak. Very happy with them so far. If you want to buy a pair for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below with a discount code. I'm not entirely sure how much the discount is, but you'll find it down there. Another thing that's performing quite well at the moment is this bike. And I'm always surprised, due to my lack of, well, abundant mechanical skills, when I put the bike together, and it stays together when I ride it. There's been a few squeaks from the seat post, I think it is, carbon fibre seat post, and I think that might just be, I hope, settling in, but I will be changing that out eventually for a suspension seat post. But when I take this thing off-road, just to take some of the nastier bumps out of the trails. But so far, the bike is doing perfectly. If you haven't watched the build video, I've built it with a full Shimano GRX setup, and I have to say, it is silky smooth. Absolutely love it. And I've got a huge 11 to 42 cassette on the back, so climbing up some of these hills, although they have been a little bit cheeky, it's probably been a little bit easier than Jimmy's found it on his 1132. Sorry, Jimbo. In my defense, I saw Katie Kookaburra at the feed stop earlier, and she had a dinner plate sized cassette on the back of her bike as well. But in fairness, she does love a climb, so it sort of makes sense that she'd have a big cassette. Right, there we go. There was the second of the 3 registered climbs. That one topped out at 14%. Woo, that was a short, punchy one. Right, back on the flat. Oh, false flat. It's still saying 7%. Right, well, we're now 5 miles from getting back to the event village, and I hope that was the final climb, because that topped out at about 11%. So if that isn't the final climb, I'll be very upset. Hopefully now, just a gentle spin back down into the event village and a nice bite to eat. Okay, well, we're a half mile out from the event village, so we're nearly done, but there's always some time for some Jimmy motivation. Jimmy, how did you find it today?
It's been one of those rides where you just feel the head emptying, and all you're focusing on is what's around you and the few meters in front of you. Absolutely stunning. Good for the soul. It's why we got into it. Not for speed, not necessarily for distance, but just to be out with your pals on roads like this, surrounded by trees, out in the green, and just really clearing the head. Honestly, feels like medicine. It really does.
Well, there you go. If that doesn't motivate you to come and do this next year, then nothing will. And to boot, it's all for a good cause as well. What's not to love? We're back. Thank you. Thank you. Right, well, we've made it back to the event village, and I've had my free can of Corson pressed rhubarb, which is very nice, and the lads are all here as well. And we've had an absolutely incredible time, but I've just had a look at the elevation data on my Garmin. Take a look at this. That was some serious climbing, but very good fun. We're going to go off and get a bite to eat now, and then start our merry way home for the 3-hour journey back to Essex. But I can highly recommend this ride, and if you haven't done it before, I would definitely suggest you get yourself on it for next year. There are a number of the bigger YouTube guys that do this ride. As I say, I saw Katie Kookaburra earlier, Francis Cade was here, Chris Hall, and Ben Foster, the Cycling GK, was here as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear them speak earlier on because I was putting Jimmy's wheels on, or I heard them speak, but I didn't actually see them in the marquee. But there is always plenty to see, and it was a lovely, lovely route. So again, if you haven't done it before, get yourself down next year. But otherwise, I'm going to go and find a pizza, I think, and maybe an Erdinger alcohol-free. So I will say thank you very much for watching. As ever, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. That's what I said.